Hello everyone, my name is Glennie George and the topic I'm covering today is in regards to African American theory in relation to children's literature. I find this topic very important to view and discuss as it brings about the significance of the need for the appreciation of diversity in our society. I say this because the body of work that we recognize today as African American children's literature did not begin to come into its own until the late 1960s. This is important to note that the all-white world of children's literature was no longer all-white, as Rudine Sims Bishop states in the Reflections on the Development of African American Children's Literature. Her study was undertaken to depict how the world of children's literature had responded to the charges that world of children's books was all white and that too many of the relatively few books that were available were flawed. In the handout that I posted for you to view, I mentioned two books that I found significant in illustrating African American theory in children's literature. The first book is called Zelie. The story is about an African American character named Zelie and a character named Geter, who came across a magazine with a picture of a Watusi queen, and she began to admire Zelie and believe that she was a queen. At one point in the story, when Geter sees Zelie, she felt that Zelie's face was the most beautiful she had ever seen. This book is important because it was published at a time when pride in African heritage and the concept of the phrase "black is beautiful" were important ideas embraced by many African Americans, and Geter's awe for Zelie's decidedly non-European beauty was a subtle confirmation of that pride. Another book that I thought significant to mention is Justin and the Best Biscuits in the World. It is considered a breakthrough book because of its focus on the role African Americans played in settling the western United States. In the story, Justin has grown tired of the women in his family nagging him and believes that cleaning and cooking is a woman's work. He spends time with his grandpa on his ranch and in the process learns to clean fish, make a bed, and bake the best biscuits in the world. Bishop explains that the setting is on a Missouri ranch, which provides the author with an opportunity to weave in some lesser-known aspects of African American history. Through conversations with Grandpa and their reading of a journal written by Justin's great-grandpa, Justin learns about the history of African Americans in the West, which included black cowboys and the homesteaders who moved west after slavery, sometimes in the face of resistance from the Southern Night Riders. In my opinion, these stories demonstrate a celebration of the history and beauty of the African American culture. This could help children to be more open-minded to cultures and traditions that are not their own, that can consequently help them to learn to appreciate everyone in society. For this reason, it is important for teachers and children's librarians to possess a working knowledge of children's classics that include all races and genders, so as to guide, direct, and promote knowledge and understanding of others that are outside of their own ethnicity. One of the ways in which teachers and librarians can become familiar with the best writers of African American children's literature is to learn about the Coretta Scott King Book Award, as quite a few of the African American children's books, such as The Watsons Go to Birmingham or Everett Anderson's Goodbye, are recipients of the Coretta Scott King Book Award. As author Jonda C. McNair states, "It is my hope that teachers, teacher educators, librarians, and others will broaden their definition of the term classic, so as to present all children with a diverse collection of books that will stand the test of time." I would like to conclude this presentation with the 7 objectives that Du Bois, author of the Brownies book, hoped to accomplish with the publication of this magazine. Number 1, to make colored children realize that being colored is a normal, beautiful thing. Number 2, to make them familiar with the history and achievements of the African American race. Number 3, to make them know that other colored children have grown into useful, famous persons. Number 4, to teach them delicately a code of honor and actions in their relations with white children. Number 5, to turn their little hurts and resentments into emulation, ambition, and love of their own homes and companions. Number 6, to point out the best amusements and joys and worthwhile things of life. And number 7, to inspire them for definite occupations and duties with a broad spirit of sacrifice. So I hope you can understand now why I feel that the topic of African American theory in relation to children's literature is a topic that entails the importance of celebrating, appreciating, and understanding one another. Thank you very much.